Hola, acompáñame a ver este blog de una conversación de estilo primaveral que organizó la tienda de Anthropology. Fue en la que está ubicada en Newport Beach, que está la tienda súper bonita y pues bueno, ahí iba llegando. Yo quería llegar puntual, decoraron súper bonito y tuvieron tres invitadas de honor. Yo iba a ver, ahí está mi querida stylist favorita que admiro mucho, Sofi Lopez. Y pues a mí, yo soy un amante de la moda, yo he estudiado para ser World of Stylist, entonces dije, tengo que ir a conocerla, tengo que ir a ver qué aprendo de ella. Y pues fuimos y pues para empezar la conversación había una barra ahí, entonces yo pedí una margarita, unos drinks, está bien bonita y hasta le están tomando fotos a mis drinks. Así como se ve de bonita, así estaba de buena. Y pues bueno, en lo que empezaba la conversación, me dio una vuelta por la tienda y la verdad es que quería todo. Y era un evento con boleto, te costaba $25, incluía los drinks, esas bolsitas que se ven ahí amarillas, era un regalo para cada invitada, que no sabíamos que iba a traer el regalo, pero me encantó. Ahí lo puse al final para que cheques lo que nos regalaron. Ese vestido también me encantó y vamos a escuchar.
Are kind of it kind of is to sort of encourage and push our clients just kind of build from what's already there and like push them into something more out of their comfort zone, you know. And I think that I always encourage my clients to just try it. So even if it's on the rack and they're like, I'm not sure about it. It's like trying it is the first step because you never know. You know, sometimes we get so drawn to the same thing over and over again. Like our eye is drawn to the, you know, if you like black, you're always drawn to whatever's black on the rack or in the store. And sometimes you just want someone with a different eye that's looking at you, you know, from a different perspective to show you something. And, you know, I think that's kind of part of our job.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean they always wear it, but you should always try it. You always want them to try it, you know.
And it's always so interesting, I feel like.
Dress up and dress other people. But how did you do it?
What's your name?
Mandy.
Thanks, Mandy. Thanks for the question. I began because here's what I did. I looked at the magazines. I would always buy Vogue and Elle and all of those magazines, and I'd be obsessed with that. And I just looked at the pictures, and I'd be like, I want to do the pictures, but I didn't really understand what that was. This is before, you know, this was a long time ago. Before the internet, before Rachel Zoe happened, we didn't know I didn't know what a fashion editor was. But in the end, I found out that what I wanted to do was to be a fashion editor. So I wrote that's how I started. I wrote to the magazines and I would write to them like every so often, kind of begging for work experience. And in the end, I mean, I'm telling you the story that makes it sound easier than it was, but like GQ ended up giving me a work experience placement, and that was where I first entered. So doing work experience, then I was their intern, so from the bottom. And then I finally made it and was an assistant.
And all three of you have done that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be hard pressed to find someone who is successful in a career that hasn't had that like climb from the bottom. I think that that's so important and so valuable, that all those steps to get there. So the other piece of advice, I guess, is also just like, it's hard, but it's there for a reason. It's making you better. And then I started in a store in college and was, you know, into fashion as well. I couldn't articulate why or what I wanted to do. I think it's also leaning into your skill set. So like you might think, for example, you want to be a stylist, but as you get exposure and start doing other things in the industry, it might lead you to something else, or realize that like I'm actually much better at like content creation, or I'm much better at, you know, I love the photo part of this. Like there's so many opportunities, and you get exposure the more that you move along. But then I started working at the store that I was working at, started opening, was bought out by Amazon. it was Bop in Madison, Wisconsin, and then that became Shop Bop. So then they're like, oh, we need people for this, studio that's opening, and like, would you want to participate? So I was like, absolutely. I didn't even know what they really wanted me to do at the time, but I was willing to like roll up my sleeves and do absolutely everything. So yeah, like that's just kind of where it started, and then as I got exposed to models and shoots and styling, I realized that I had a knack for it, and I had to do it. So that's the other thing too, you have to do something, like it's meant to be.
It's so amazing about, like, look around us, it's crazy. And so I dabbled in that a bit when I was in New York, and I found myself in department stores wrestling mannequins at 5 a.m. Like, yes. Respect to all the visual merchandisers. I was once like carrying a fake shrub through Times Square, and I was just like, I don't think this is for me. So just being open to that evolution of where your path's going to take you. I ended up in digital publishing as an editor as well, and then ended up leaving that to do more content creation and different entrepreneurial efforts, and still in fashion, but just not really what I started out doing. Yeah. So just being open to how that's all going to evolve is a big one.
In careers that aren't the most fashionable, like how to incorporate trends or style in a more subtle way. If we can't, walk in with like a dress and heels.
I'd say starting with like small little things. Like, I don't know, it's like if you can find something that's like the print that you like, or like a little pop of color. Like how many great outfits are there where it's like all neutral, but like then there's like a little peek of like a red turtleneck, or like there's like like little introductions of something a little bit more fun, whether that's your bag, your earring or your jewelry, a red lip, like I don't know, I think there's ways to express in like easy ways.
Do you have to wear like a chef's whites, or can you like, are we seeing this outfit?
I can wear colors. Like I have like a gray one, a pink one, a blue one. Like there's flexibility since I'm in the client's homes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. Well, in that case, 100%, right? You can. I think that you should. You're in people's homes. You work for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're the cool, stylish chef. Like I think that you can. Just because there is like maybe chefs are not considered the most stylish, doesn't mean that this chef is not the most stylish. Like I can see already you have a very cute outfit on. She's got sequins on right now. Stand up. Let's take a look. This is like a little stylish chef. That is exactly what you should be wearing to work.
The celebrity stylist said so. Yeah. If I were you too, I would just be like playing with like optical, eyewear, earrings, like any hair accessories. Yeah, I would just go crazy because it's like any outlet you can.
Like how fun to have like a big stack like of bracelets, or if you have something more. So if you want to be
socks, just fun socks.
Yeah, little socks. Yeah, just buy socks.
Shoes, cute shoes. Yeah. There's little ways you can make it your own.
Thank you.
Yes.
The willingness to learn and like hit the ground running, and making that really clear that you're like, I'm just in it to learn and I'll pick up quickly, because I think there's even young people that I interview that really want to start out, but they just don't even have that kind of like willingness to learn and jump into this fast-paced environment. So maybe someone like yourself who has experience in another field and is really like, maybe has other skills that I don't even know that I need, for example, could be great. And I think knowing too that the networking you do might not bring you something overnight. I feel like I meet people all the time. I actually do file them away in some folder in my inbox, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that girl said she was really good at X, Y, or Z, and I'll like reach out to her 6 months later and be like, hey, we met at that thing, wonder if you can help me out during Fashion Week or whatever it is. So just know that whatever networking you're doing might not come around till 6 months, a year later, but it's all worth something in the end.
And also don't forget, there are like so many transferable skills that you probably have that you've acquired from the job that you have right now.
That make you more qualified than the other person.
That's exactly
it. Well, also that you can bring to being a stylist. So like being a stylist is, yes, it's about taste and being able to be, put outfits together. But it's also, you have to be very organized. You have to be kind of meticulous in terms of like knowing where everything is, like when you catalog your looks, it's like there's so much that my team does that isn't styling. That's 70% of the job. And to me, the people that I hire, sometimes that is more important because I need that. Because if we don't have our office and our inventory and everything that all the like everything, if it's not catalogued and structured properly, then we're doing our jobs badly. We're in a mess. We forgot the shoe. We forgot the earring for this look. So just saying that those skills are really important, and I'm sure that like there are so many other fields where spreadsheets and all of those things. I would love someone to make me a spreadsheet of so you probably have a lot of what you need already.
Y al final de la conversación saludé a Sofi, súper buena onda, muy simpática, muy amable que se portó, y pues claro que le dije que la admiraba mucho. Me compré ese lip oil para variar y esos platos muy primaverales que amé. O sea, me encantan esos platos, o sea, los amo como no tienen idea, y gasté un total de $56. Y ahora sí, vamos a abrir los regalitos. Los regalitos también me encantaron. Vienen esos lentes, 2 pares de aretes, 2 pares de collarcitos, unas calcetas.